All right, what's good, y'all? So look, so I'm down here at my local Best Buy. I was in the area, and I figured, what the hell, man? Let me stop by and see if they got these joints on display. I know that some Best Buy stores do, not all of them, but luckily for me, the one that I am at does have it. Um, and so, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and show some quick footage of the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3, and I'm gonna wrap this thing on up. All right. All right, y'all, so here is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and I mean, just looking at it initially, I mean, this thing is very much so identical to the Z Fold 2. I mean, there's really no cosmetic differences if you were to look at the two side by side. But I do like the fact that we do now have the 120 hertz display on the outer display. I know that on the 2, you get the high refresh rate on the interior display, but not so much on the exterior display. And so that's a nice spin to it. I mean, as you can see, when you close the device, things are nice and snappy and buttery smooth as they ought to be. Now, they don't have one of the S Pens on deck, for me to try out. This is actually a really nice setup. We got the Z Flip 3 here. So I don't know. I mean, I know that I said initially that I was going to hold off on the Z Fold 3 because of the fact that I've got the 2 and there's just not too many differences. But I do like the upgrades that Samsung has implemented in the Fold 3. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pull the trigger on day one and get this thing in. But like I said, I mean, for a fact, the main one that I've got my eye on is the Z Flip 3 here. And actually this egg or this beige cream color, this is actually the color scheme that I'd be looking to get. As you can see, the price there, $9.99. I mean, looking at the price for the Z Fold 3, $17.99. And so, it's come down a couple $100. I mean, but that's still a lot of money for a device. And so another reason why the Z Fold captivates my interest is because of the fact that when it came out, it was $1,400 and they've dropped it to $9.99. And this is an improved device. It's got all the latest specifications, Snapdragon 888. I believe we're starting off with 8 gigs of RAM. Some people have been griping about the fact that they dropped it from 256 gigs standard down to 128. But I mean, I think with everything that you're getting, $1,000 price tag with everything that you're getting, including 128 storage, to me is sufficient. I mean, I could have a 32 gig device and I'll be straight. You know what I mean? So 128 gig is definitely enough for me, but I can understand how people who need more storage space than that, they can take up an issue with that. And so there are different gigabyte packages as far as the storage is concerned. But I mean, the 128 gig is where it starts at. That's the $9.99 price tag. Okay, so just off top, I mean, just looking at this bad boy, I mean, one of the main things that you notice, especially with this color scheme, is the display. Okay, so that outer display, I mean, it has been majorly improved over the first gen and the 5G variant. But it's still a little on the small side, but I mean, it looks as though it is going to give a little bit more functionality, which is dope. I've got, Motorola, they spoiled me. I mean, that outer display on the Moto Razr 5G is just, I feel like, in this, if you're going to have this particular form factor, I feel like the outer display, is going to play a key role because it does get a little bit cumbersome from time to time. Every time you want to interact with the phone and you have to constantly flip it open. And there were several times where with my Z Flip, I just rocked it open. You know what I mean? And it's like I only would close it when I knew that I wasn't going to be using the device all that often, because just all the constantly flipping it open and closing, I mean, it's frustrating at times. And so to have a legitimate outer display that you can really utilize to where you don't necessarily have to open up the phone every time you want to interact with it, I mean, that definitely adds to the experience, and it makes it a sweeter experience, in my personal opinion, if you're going to walk around with something like this. But I do like the fact that the screen is bigger. You can see, you just get it. You get a cleaner look. You could do some of these things on the smaller display that was on the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G. But again, that screen was so small, it was just barely usable. I mean, it was laughable if you ask me. Now, we go ahead and open up the display. Wow, that feels silky smooth. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, yeah, it's in demo mode. So we do have the 120 hertz display. You can see things are super smooth. Wow, they just hit the lights. They must be getting ready to close. Pardon me, fellas. You guys have to close?
Yeah, we close at 8. No, you still got time.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. No,
I saw the lights go out. I'm like, oh, okay.
In the last hour, yeah, but no, you good.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I like the fact that, you know, we do have the 120 hertz display. Things are nice and smooth. You can see just scrolling back and forth. It's effortless. I mean, the screen is extremely responsive. And yeah, I mean, it's got this big, you know, it's connected to this thing, so I can't hold it. I mean, I would like to pick it up and at least just get a feel for it. But I can't imagine that this thing is going to feel really all that different from the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G. I do like the exterior though. You can see, like, when it's closed, it's got that glossy feel, but I feel like on the back, well, no, it's glossy on the back as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was wondering if it was just kind of like that matte feel on the back and glossy on the front, but I mean, it's glossy all the way around. It's Corning Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and the back. I mean, so you've got Corning Gorilla Glass's latest and greatest, most durable glass, according to them. I still would recommend a case and a screen protector. I mean, I think this bad boy already comes with the screen protector, but you definitely want to case it up because a drop, you're going to be filing an insurance claim, and if you don't have insurance, then yeah, that's $1,000 down the tube, or you're just going to be walking around with a cracked up phone looking trashy. Okay, now let's see. The Z Fold 3, yeah, they got it locked down. You can't pick it up, but I believe, yeah, this is the black one. And yeah, we can see that matte black finish back there. There's that camera hump, that tri-cam system here. Actually, here, let me okay, so there's that under the display 4 megapixel camera right there, ladies and gentlemen, and you can definitely see it. Like, it hides, there's pixels over it. If you're not looking for it, I mean, it's not going to be there, but you could see, I mean, holding the camera to it, oh man, you know, you could see it just as plain as day. But, you know, when you're watching content, especially if you turn this thing to the side, or even if you just decide to watch content like this, you're not going to notice that at all whatsoever. Now here, let me see if I can get some pictures with this. Come on. Okay, let me go to the camera. Okay, and like I said, I can't pick this thing up. I mean, so it's just going to be in this particular orientation. Now, of course, when you're in the viewfinder, you see that 4 megapixel sensor. I think it's dope that, you know, once you get out of the camera app, and if you're looking at anything else, then it's basically hidden. Okay, I do like that. 4 megapixels under the display fingerprint camera. I understand, you know, this particular technology is in its infancy stages. I've been hearing a lot about the fact that it's not really all that good, but I mean, from what I'm looking at, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. And, you know, I understand, like, when you take a picture, it has some post-processing that takes place to really enhance the image. So let's see here. Now, see, that looks pretty clean. Like, that doesn't look bad at all. I mean, you just, my skin tone, you know, I just cut my hair earlier, got my hairline on crispy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, shout out to the iPhone 12 Pro. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty clean looking photo right there. That's actually really solid. I mean, that's better than what I was expecting, given what people have said about this camera. So yeah, let me get in here and erase that, trash that. But yeah, no, I mean, it seems like it's not going to be that bad. Now, obviously, here we go. Okay, so obviously the 10 megapixel outer display camera is going to give you a much cleaner look. I mean, just even by looking at it in the viewfinder, it looks much sharper. But I mean, it's a smaller display. I mean, so, you know, the viewfinder is smaller here than it is when you have it opened. I mean, so things are going to look a little bit clearer. So I'm curious to get this thing home and, like, take a selfie with this camera and then open it up and take a selfie with the post-processing and just look at them side by side just to see how much cleaner the picture here is going to be over the one that's in the interior display, or if in fact the one on the interior display could be a little cleaner than this one. Things that make me go But I mean, it wasn't a bad image, as you guys saw. So yeah, I'll just have to get my hands on this and play with it a little bit more extensively. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick hands-on peek at the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3 5G. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And I'm your man, Pristine. I'm out.